Good morning, Ghana. Good morning, Ghana. Welcome down to our Thursday installation of Fun, Fit, and Healthy. I'm your host, Coel. As always, it's a pleasure. It's always a great pleasure of mine coming to you in your homes or wherever you're joining us from to talk about health and fitness and lifestyle and all the good stuff that comes from having this type of lifestyle. I have in studio with me today a very special guest. Actually, the person who was quite instrumental in getting me on the show. We've been friends for a very, very long time, and he himself has made some changes in his own life that he's been able to extract a lot of benefit from doing for the lifestyle shift, right? I'll let him introduce himself, and he'll be able to give you a little bit of insight into his journey and how things have been thus far. You know, what are the challenges he may have experienced, you know, a whole robust discourse about what he has experienced once he decided to make that shift. And again, it's going to be a nice conversation. Welcome to the show, Akash, my boy.
Cool, what's up, man?
Again, this is Akash and I have been friends for a very, very long time, and we have really, really riveting conversations on a daily, or whenever we meet up, you know. And these conversations, we needed to come on a show together.
Indeed.
And let's talk to the people. So go ahead, Akash. Tell the people who you are. What's up with you today?
Well, you know, I'm hoping to be like you, very popular one day, so I don't even introduce myself, right? But I'm Akash Prasad, and I'm the general manager for this platform. And Cole and I go a long time back. You know, we will talk about issues affecting men, especially.
Right.
And when I remember, we would go sometimes at the boutique there, and we would catch up and have some chats and so on.
Come buy a shirt and I'll get for 2 hours.
Yeah, and we end up talking about issues that affecting men and so on. And I was telling you this morning that, you know, perhaps we should talk about some of this stuff like lifestyle change, especially people in the late 40s going on to 50s, and why are you not getting on into a workout program, and why would you let yourself go and all of that?
There you go.
And then you said, well, we don't talk about it today.
Yeah,
so
definitely. So quite organically, we were just shooting the breeze in the studio. He's like, you know, hey, let's have a conversation with the people. You know, and Akash, he recently started back his fitness journey. He was never obese, but, you know, looking obese doesn't necessarily indicate that, it's not an indication that you're not necessarily unhealthy on the inside, right? Naturally, he started his program, and, you know, like what I like about Akash in particular is that he ties his spiritual journey into his physical journey, and he's really, really been able to find an equilibrium to bring the two in unison to create a more harmonious self, right?
Indeed, yeah.
Right.
But I may not have been obese, but I had a big belly. I had a big belly, and the funny thing is, I always like to wear, because I'm not short. I'm vertically challenged.
You know? Yeah. Sure. Me too.
And one of the things that I realize is that I like to wear fitting clothes and all of that, and you can't be, you know, wear certain clothes. Indeed. A lot of times people go to the stores and so on and say, man, I like that shirt or whatever, and you carry home the shirt and say, that's not the right shirt I buy.
Right. Put it on.
But really and true, when you put on the shirt, it is not made for your body type.
Right.
And so, look, I'll be 48 this year.
Right. The big man.
Yeah, the big man thing. And I've started going back to the gym. I'm working out. I go in there, I do the weights and everything like that. I realize that I need to work in a certain way, because I want my body to look as I'm not going to be a bodybuilder.
Right. But you definitely want to train to look a certain way.
And what I've done, I realized that it's not just gym alone. There are many lifestyle changes that I would have had to go through. I don't particularly use alcohol anymore.
Right.
I eat a certain way. I prepare. I do meal preps for an entire week.
Right. You're telling me. You're gonna give me a recipe for your shake.
I do meal preps for an entire week. I've come off of roti, which was heartbreaking.
Oh, man. Flour.
Because for me, roti was love at first bite.
We used to make a joke about the show. We talk about the cameraman always said roti is life.
Yeah.
Right.
So you know, I
roti was tough.
But they're healthy choices. As a matter of fact, a lady was in here this morning. She said that she's making roti out of chickpeas.
Chickpeas?
Chana roti.
Chana roti?
Yeah, that should be interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah.
Protein dense. Yeah.
But again, so what I do, I tie in this healthy lifestyle, which is working out in the gym. I go to a gym in Thomas Street, Kitty. From work, I head down there. I do some workout. I'm not I was never a morning person. I have no choice now but to get up every day in the morning because I live over the river.
Right, you gotta come across.
And I gotta get across the bridge.
Right.
You know, there's a and I gotta get on the so I'm here. I go to the demonstrator early in the morning. But in the afternoons I try to get away and go to the gym.
Right.
I work out. And then I tie that in with my meals.
Right.
And the type of meals I do sweet potatoes, but banana sweet potatoes selling by the pennyweight right now.
It's expensive.
Like gold. Yeah, you know.
Yo.
You're buying them by the pennyweight right now.
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
But think about it this way.
There's no price tag for your health though. What you take?
$300 a pound for sweet potato. It might seem like a lot. But if you buy 2 pounds of sweet potatoes and you make some mash,
Right.
that's gonna last you for a while once you know how to portion it.
Yeah, a couple of days.
Yeah, with your chicken and so on. And I realized that if you're buying food in the road up, you see people buy cooked food to make
Correct.
huge profits.
Correct.
And they're not necessarily using the right type of oils and all that. You cook your food at home.
Right.
I mean, I live by myself.
Right.
And $5,000 when I know how to fit my things in, it gives me proper food.
A good portion size.
Yeah, man, and
healthy
tasty
options.
stuff too, right?
Right.
So I have my meals for the entire week. I make a shake that I use oats, flaxseed, chia seeds, banana, almond milk.
Balance it out.
Balance it up nicely. I put it in. I get these bottles and I fill them in. Put like 6 or 7 bottles in the freezer.
And there's a meal right there.
And when I finish eating before 8 in the night, I don't eat until 12 the next day.
Right.
I have coffee in the morning.
Right.
So I do intermittent fasting.
Right.
And I can tell you this, Coel. I can't tell you last year I wear size 30 pants.
Yeah, you did call by some pants.
I bought 2 jeans from you the other day and they were size 30.
30, right.
32 falling off. At one time I remember I wear 34, 36, something like that.
36?
Yeah. Imagine that
Yeah.
a short man with
That kind of,
belly,
kind
you know
of
what I mean?
waistline. Nah, that's not good. That's not good.
Now, here's the funny thing. And this is where men they got to start they got to understand something. If you look a certain way, the girl walking with you think she's tolerating you, know. She's tolerating you.
Hey, you ain't never lied, bro. You ain't never lied. The thing is, like, we talk about these things all the time.
Yeah.
You know, in order to be a healthy, functioning person in society, health is vital to it, man. Like when we started the show last year, I used to have men would contact me about, you know, want to get in shape and eat different kind of things, working the butts off, right? But they're not taking care of themselves.
Yeah.
You understand? And we talk about these things all the time as men. Our charge is to stand up and work and provide and do what is necessary to keep things together, right? That's what we're here for. But in our charge, in our execution of those things, we tend to typically neglect ourselves. And it's a huge, huge problem we need to start focusing on as men and trying to build ourselves so we can be better for the people around us. And that's something very, very vital. And listening to you, you know, you kind of encapsulated everything. You touched on everything in terms of nutrition, in terms of your orienting your mind, and in terms of having that planned approach, that structure to the way you were able to do it. And you feel great.
Definitely.
You know, you come here, you're tucking in now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's here to your chest puffing up and things.
Yeah. You know, the biceps are bulging a little bit now. You know.
There you go.
Now,
so you know.
The thing is, and this is what I want to reiterate. Again, I'll be 48 this year.
Right.
Now, lots of times when people reach around 40 and say, man, you know, what left there for them young boy?
Yeah.
We don't get big in age. What big in age?
It's a real nonsense ideology.
What big in age about you? If you want to, now look, if I walk in on the road, and I holding my girlfriend's hand, she must feel proud that she walking with me.
Correct.
You understand? She must say, oh God, he hold me hand, but everybody may say, with it.
You do it.
Now, I'm bashing nobody here now.
Yeah,
I'm not bashing nobody here. But all I'm saying is that you have in your grasp the opportunity to take charge.
Yeah.
It's up to you. It's up to you to say, man, you know what? I don't like the way I'm looking. I'm going to do this. And I'm telling you, Coel, if I can do it, anyone can do it. And you can see change within your in 3 months.
Right.
You
consistent working, you will be able to see something.
But that's the operative word, consistency.
Right.
A lot of times people go in the gym, working out the first day, they do like some exercise and they
feel some pain.
and it's like, man, you know, I'm mean with this. See, this is
done.
Yeah.
I see it all the time, Akash. Like when you, because again, what you did first was fix it up here. It has to start here because if you don't commit to this process, and you know, we kind of re-emphasize this point all the time. Exercise is not a punishment, guys. Exercise is not a punishment for what you eat or your bad choices. Exercise is a reward for what you can do. You understand? And once you start getting into that a space of making it a part of your life, not to consume your life, but make it a part of your life, you see phenomenal success. Not just in your, because when we were talking earlier, you talked about how your cognitive function is improved.
Definitely,
you're way more focused. You know, everything is all the tangential benefit from just making and maintaining this lifestyle shift. So that's good.
Also, I mean, there were times when certain things were taboo. But if you don't maintain a healthy lifestyle and have a healthy body, obviously you're not going to be the best man in the bedroom either, you know.
Definitely not.
I mean, I said it, people think it's taboo and all of that to talk about it, but
no, you have to.
It has to be spoken about.
It has to be spoken about. And this would be an incentive for you as a man. You know, we got a question coming in. What question about whether or not exercise improves your length and strength. But is it true? There's some science behind it. So let me give you a little bit of science to address this question that one of the wicked producers here asked earlier. It is scientifically proven that once you're working out, your area here is called your rectus, your pubis rectus area, right? Once you have been able to minimize your visceral fat around this area here, you do protrude further. Oh, that's a fact. You do protrude a little bit further, because your visceral fat is no longer tightening and pulling in. So once you do, you're able to get better blood flow, and this is the main thing you need to maintain stamina and endurance in the bedroom: blood flow. When you start working out, you do definitively impact your blood flow, right?
Definitely.
Another good benefit is the boosting your testosterone.
That's right.
And as you get older, you know, you as men, we do go through periods of low testosterone, which is something that affects all men. All men. There's no man on the planet that will not go through periods of low testosterone. None. So don't get it twisted, guys. Exercise directly impacts your ability to keep your testosterone levels boosted and get the benefits from it.
Yeah. Funny enough that you mentioned that, because I remember when I had asked you some time back, I said, what exercise increases testosterone tremendously in the gym?
Right.
And you said lots of leg exercise.
Yeah.
You know, there are a lot of people who go to the gym.
Don't work the legs.
Don't work legs. because when you work the leg, I mean,
you feel the most pain.
Yeah, you feel the most pain. But you try to go sit on the toilet, it's a problem because you're just stuck halfway, like in a half squat, and you can't move.
Difficult. Yeah. But it's difficult for a reason. How is build a house, Akash?
Yeah, that's the foundation.
Foundation to roof, not roof to foundation.
And from the very first time I saw, I remember as a kid growing up, there had these guys back in Wickenham where I grew up. They used to do workout, and all of them used to write on their shirt, you know. Then it's not like they had the shirt to do that. They used to take pen and write it on a marker. No pain, no gain.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So it's like from the very first time somebody decided to work out, that became the mantra.
Yeah. Because the pain is the indication you've done something.
That's right, exactly.
Right?
The muscles
and the muscles have worked. You've created those micro tears, but the healing causes the pain also. When your muscles start to heal, you feel that pain. But you see, when they heal, they're a lot stronger and able to endure more.
Yeah.
So that's it. And again, you're a testament to that. You literally are living what we've been talking about.
Exactly. Yeah. And again, it's never too late to start. Never too late to start. I mean, I remember many years ago in the early 2000s, I used to work with a guy named Videsh.
Videsh, yeah.
We used to work with Videsh back in the days, and then I stopped and then start drinking and eating everything that crawls became a meal, and you know, you just let yourself go. Use a lot of sugar, and you know.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't eat certain things or you shouldn't have a drink, and I am not going to be hypocrite to say that because I was there.
It's life.
But if you do it in moderation and you incorporate a healthy lifestyle, diet and workout program, then it's you know.
Look, so the thing is, like, people think the lifestyle requires you to be this monk.
Yeah.
It doesn't. The lifestyle show does not require you to be a monk. You get into the gym, you're basically finding equilibrium. You're balancing yourself. You're balancing family. You're balancing work. You're balancing personal care.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk about these things all the time, Akash, where we emphasize the importance of loving yourself. Always, you understand? You have one body. You don't get spares. You don't get spares.
Another thing, I can tell you something. The best way to conquer depression is workout.
Oh, you ain't never lied. You ain't never lied.
I been there, done that.
Yeah.
The best way to conquer depression is to hit the gym, because what happens, all that negative energy that's building up, all the lactic energy that's building up in your body, and from the stress and all that, when you go into the weights, man, it's like a transfer of energy.
Yeah, definitely.
And then what it does, because you're using that you're using that in your energy levels to push off. You feel strong.
Channeling that negative energy and you're putting it to positive activity, and you definitely see the dividends from it. Like, again, I have no shame in my game. I did suffer from depression, contrary to what your boy Andrew Tate says. Depression is real. It's a very real thing. But people experience, men and women experience depression, and from a variety of reasons. But the exercise in itself definitively impacts that. Me personally, one of the things that I deal with is anxiety. From time to time, I have, I won't say anxiety attacks, but I do feel this overwhelming sense of closure around me and these different kind of things. And when I feel that way, the only thing that can help me is exercise.
Yeah.
I go run. I literally, like, hey, shut everything down. They close the store. Whatever's going on, go home. But I was really run half naked around Georgetown.
I just got to mention that.
I run half naked around Georgetown. So, it's for a practical reason. It's not just to show off. But interpret it however. Right? But the running, my body stays and my mind goes. And I try to run very long. What that does, it gives me a sense of accomplishment. At the end of it, I feel that endorphin release into my body. And I feel amazing. While going through it, it feels hard to go start the run. It feels hard to eat right. It feels hard to make healthier choices. It's hard. It's hard. It's supposed to be hard, right? But once you overcome and you keep doing it over and you realize, this is becoming easier and easier. To give you an example, when I first started running for therapeutic reasons, I would do just 10 kilometers. Just 10K, right? And bit by bit, I started to just, but let me push a little farther. And then I went to 16. And then I do minimum 21.
Okay.
No, minimum
21.
21. Every time I go running, minimum 21 kilometers. And my goal is to probably do more than that eventually. But, time conscious and different kind of things. But the point I'm trying to make is it's always hard in the beginning. Like, when I started running, I never believed I would have been able to. I wasn't even thinking about what I'm doing now. But once you get past it, you see that it's not as hard as you imagine. Once you do it, the rest is history.
Well, for me, running is a bit of a problem because what happened is I played so much of cricket on hard surface, concrete, damaged my knees.
Joints,
right? So imagine running now on hard surface and you have damaged joints. But there's an alternative, because what I found is that a friend of mine left a bike with me, a really nice bike, right? And because he didn't space to keep it, so he said, "Man, keep my bike for me. It's very expensive bike, really nice bike." I said, "Man, I can't have this bike at home and not try to use it." And he said, "I'm going to start riding." And bro, I used to have lower back issues, like bad lower back pain sometimes. I couldn't walk up. I couldn't walk down a step, a stairs.
Pain in knees.
Straight. I had to turn to the side and like one step at a time. Since I've been riding, the lower back pain, it's still a little bit there, and that came from a lot of cricket again, playing hard surface and you banging it. A little guy trying to bowl fast.
Things gonna happen to your body. Yeah. Took its toll.
Yeah, and now that I'm riding, the back pain is up, and I can walk up stairs and I can walk down the stairs straight without having to look like like
an old man.
Yeah, like an old man. I'm a proud 48-year-old. You know.
Yeah. Again, these are strong testimonies as to how the lifestyle change really, really impacts your entire life. You have difficulties. You live across the river. East Bank traffic is hell, but you looked at your life and say, you know what, I can fit it in.
Exactly.
You have to, guys.
Instead of spending 1 hour in traffic,
right,
I spend 1 hour in the gym.
Exactly. Right? But then you get out there, the traffic will ease in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway. So you have to really, really take stock of your lives, guys, to really take stock of what's going on in your particular sphere of life and make the adjustments. It's adjustments, and as you make the adjustments, you realize that it's not hard as I thought. Then you make another adjustment. Then you make another. And then you make another, and you keep growing and growing. Because right. For now, you feel so good. You don't want this to stop.
No.
This is your lifestyle now. This is what you are going to continue to do.
I plan on going one short size smaller soon, you know.
There you go. You bring 28 pounds. Right? So this is what it's all about, guys. And this is what we really want to convey to you guys. That these testimonials are real. These testimonials are any other questions coming in? Anything?
No.
These testimonials are real people with real lives, with real difficulties, with real realities that have made the choice to take care of themselves and be better than what they currently or what they were. All right. Cash, you could correct me if I'm wrong. The only constant in life is change, and as we change, we must be able to fortify ourselves enough to adapt so we can stay here and participate. Especially as Guyanese, especially now as Guyanese, where there's so much going on in the country, and health needs to be a part of that. We need to have healthy mindsets, one, and then we need to have healthy bodies, and the two will take us further than we can ever imagine.
When I was younger, growing up, well, not young, the same thing.
Yeah, totally agree. I don't know. Remind us. I think we had a little break just now. Tell the people what you were just saying in regard to how the lifestyle it fans out and it kind of influences the people in your life.
No, but what I was saying is that a lot of times we as men, how we carry ourselves and how we look. Mm-hmm. The women in our lives, and some of us have really good women in our lives, they tend to take a lead and a lean towards that. Mm-hmm. If you got yourself anyhow and your belly looking big and that kind of thing, and so she must say, well, you know what, if that's my husband.
Good for you, good for you.
Yeah. But if you start looking good and you start taking care of yourself, she's going to take the lead and say, man, you know what, he's making an effort. I'm going to make an effort too.
There you go.
And even if you're not making an effort and she's making an effort, you need to recognize that she's making an effort and say, I got to do the same too.
There you go.
Because, look.
One wash hand.
It's never too late. Mm-hmm. It's never too late.
Yeah, I totally agree with that message. I totally agree with that message. So wherever you're joining us, I think we're going to wrap now. I think we've taken up a lot of your time so far. But wherever you're joining us from, really this is what Cash is really trying to convey to you guys today. 48 years old, made the shift, and he's never felt better. And definitely committed to the process of making sure that his health and his fitness is paramount in his life. By extension, him doing so is able to now impact everybody around him, and everybody's now on that particular trajectory, and everybody benefits. We keep saying on the show all the time that a fit Guyana is a good Guyana, and that's why we're trying to make sure that we keep sending home this message to you guys, the importance of having such a lifestyle shift. There are no losers in making this choice. None. We do understand the difficulties that you may experience, difficulties that everybody has, but you can't use that as an excuse. When you take a bag of excuses, it makes no sense.
Empty it, man.
Empty it, unburden yourself with those excuses, and really try to look at your life and see how best you could do things. Start small, incrementally. Things aggregate, and then you become this big thing. So whatever's going on, guys, Akash and I want to really reiterate to you guys the importance of making yourself a priority and making sure that you're positioning yourself to make healthy choices. Before closing, an example, a bit of an anecdote from my gym recently. There's a student colleague of mine that recently joined the gym, right? Shout out to Felipe Walker. He's over at he manages the Gold Scholarship program, right? Felipe joined the gym this week, and I wasn't easy on Felipe this week, but he has made a commitment to come to the gym. Right, a young man, but he was slightly overweight and stuff, and he want to change his life. And I'm really seeing him stick to it and be consistent at it. And this week he was in terrible pain, gosh, terrible pain. You know what?
He's back.
He's back. He kept every morning the gate opens and said, "Look, there he is, he's coming," right? Because he has a goal, and that's what we want to convey to you. Have your goals and make sure you're doing everything possible to achieve them. I thought before we wrap, you want to tell people anything else before we close?
No, I just want to say, look, if you, it's funny. I have a set of weights at home on a bench, and I really hang close on it. It's there. I know what I got to do, but it's so hard. It's so difficult because working out at home, you need the motivation. Yeah. But if you pay a couple dollars at the gym, you will go. You go. So you know what? For now, join a gym, get out there, do something, get your workout on, start eating healthy,
start moving,
and get your bodies in order, man. Because you know what? If you don't take care of you, nobody can take care of you for you. You gotta do you.
You have to do it. Yeah, you're talking about skin crawling, bro.
Yeah, you gotta do it. Yeah.
Indeed. And certainly, that's a very, very good close to today's show. Again, it's always a pleasure being in your homes or wherever you're joining, assisting with advancing these conversations. It's always a pleasure of mine. To give you a bit of updates with the show, you can join us tomorrow for our, tomorrow's going to be intense. Tomorrow's going to be the high interval. We told you early in the week that, we're going to be doing high interval training, but tomorrow is going to be really intense. It'll be quick, but it's a very, very rigorous workout we have planned for tomorrow. Good one. It's going to be a good one. I will not be available next week, but Gita and a surprise client will take charge. I know y'all like seeing Gita in nice sexy outfits, so she can sexy it up a little more for y'all this coming week. She definitely will be taking and representing Fun Fit and Healthy quite adequately for next week. So look forward to seeing her next week. You will not be seeing me. I more than likely will be doing the Tuesday and Thursday talk show, but the actual training I will not be able to facilitate. No, maybe we could probably work something. I don't know. We could probably work something out. But look forward to next week for that. But tomorrow we have our high intensity interval training tomorrow. So it's going to be really, really intense. So once again, thank you for joining us, guys. It's always a pleasure. And I want to close the show as always. It's important that you take care of yourself so you can take care of others. So thank you for joining us today on TBN. It's a pleasure being with you. I'm Coel signing out. We have our boy Akash.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for coming. And, this is a good conversation. And I think we really hit home some very valid points that you guys can take and help boost you in your endeavors to change your lifestyle. So take care, Guyana. Do have a wonderful rest of the day.